and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and today we will learn all about this year's 28th annual Squirrel Run, the Jimmy Kennedy Memorial Run for ALS here in Quincy. First, though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it is cloudy and it's cool, 54 degrees right now. Today will stay gray and damp. There is a chance for a spot shower. Temperatures not getting out of the upper 50s this afternoon. Gradual clearing this evening. It'll be chilly, lows dropping off into the upper 40s. But we flip the switch beginning tomorrow with a complete 180. We've got summertime warmth on the way with lots of sunshine. Tomorrow's highs into the mid-70s. We're talking low 80s on Sunday with abundant sunshine. Still pretty mild here on Monday with sun and clouds. Monday's highs in the mid-70s. Most of next week looks much warmer than average. Could be near 90 by next Wednesday. So for now, gray and 54 in Quincy. To check out the news for you today, the Quincy City Council is reviewing next year's proposed city budget. The first of 4 scheduled budget meetings was held earlier this week at City Hall, where officials reviewed budgets for the municipal finance, assessors, treasurers, pension, city clerk, and other departments. Almost $239,000 was trimmed from the spending plan. Councilor at Large Ann Mahoney expressed some concern that revenues from new development in Quincy Center are being put into the general fund instead of being used to pay down the debt created by that development.
My check comes in from my money, from my taxes, and it goes into the general fund. My house is part of the general fund. Everybody in this room that has a house in Quincy goes into the general fund, but the diff goes into the base goes into the general fund, and the remainder has to be separated out because of a diff. And if you're not separating it out and you're not accounting for it, you're either double counting in the levy and then also saying it's diff. Now we have what I call an accounting nightmare.
Now, the administration contends that the new growth from the development offsets the debt on the district improvement financing area, taking it off the backs of taxpayers. Mahoney said she would be consulting with the State Department of Revenue about how revenue from the DIF should be allocated in the city budgets. Before the budget hearing this week, the City Council's Oversight Committee held a meeting to receive an update on the real estate that the city's purchased over the past 6 years. At a total of $78 million. The committee's chairman, Ward 1 Councilor David Jacobs, honed in on some property purchased on Howe's Neck that has sat vacant after plans for a new maritime center were put on hold.
At the Adams houses where I worked for years, we would interview hundreds of people, and they would accept a job, and then they'd leave because they found a job that had housing, federal government housing, and we had nothing to offer them, and they would come here. Some of them would come here. They couldn't get leases. The park's open for 5 months out of the year or whatever. And here I see a house that's been sitting free and clear for 8 years with maybe 2 or 3 bedrooms that could have been rented to actually bolster our tourism industry, which this administration says they're proud of and they want to build, and I think that's true. But it's great to pay someone a 3-figure salary and say, hey, we believe in tourism, but then the people who are the front-facing people who can't provide housing, we can't provide housing for them at some type of I don't want to say reduced cost, but we seem to be in the business of providing relief at reduced costs in commercial property in Quincy. I don't understand why we couldn't do that, especially since the federal government's over here giving us upwards of $3 million a year to fund our basic a real tourism industry, which is the Adams National Historical Park.
The council has also questioned other real estate holdings, including property on Adams Street that was intended for an Adams Presidential Center, and the former St. Mary's School, which may ultimately be a new elementary school. As the City Council does consider the latest request to purchase the former Eastern Nazarene College property for $22.5 million, Mayor Thomas Koch cautions that it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
There's a lot of reasons each of the parcels were purchased. We expect to put out an RFP pretty soon for the Messina lot, which is at the corner of Hancock and Hannon, and recoup some serious money on that. That at the time we bought for parking because we took the Hancock parking area away And while the garage was being built and the pressure was on for parking, that was purchased for the parking lot with the understanding someday something would be built on it. A lot of planning goes into these things, and you got a lot of pieces on the board. You got to move them around. But at the end of the day, I think it would be a huge mistake for the city of Quincy not to purchase ANC.
The mayor says he's hopeful that the council will approve the purchase of the property by the end of June, although he says that may be extended if the college agrees. For the first time in over 20 years, there's entertainment happening at the site of the former Wollaston Theater in Quincy. Beginning today, Wollaston Gardens will open. Widowmaker Brewing Company from Braintree is opening up this outdoor summer beer garden at that Beale Street location. It'll feature food, games, music, and family activities. Quincy City Clerk Nicole Crispo says every effort's being made to ensure that the new operation fits in well with the neighborhood.
Just to be respectful of the neighbors, Judy Chen was there, and she is the owner of the China in that whole building there. And, she talked about her parking spaces, public safety, and they talked a little bit at the meeting, and they're also going to talk offline to make sure that they're coordinating together. Judy said, Chapman Street is a concern, and she's, saw it over the last few years with people driving and pedestrian crossing. And so they're going to work together and make sure that public safety is the main concern.
Wollaston Gardens will be open Thursdays from 4 to 9, Fridays from 4 to 10, Saturdays noon to 10, Sundays noon to 7, weather permitting, through late summer. The Wollaston Theater closed in 2003. The site has sat vacant since the building was demolished in 2016. Now, hundreds of people enjoyed the 5th annual Quincy Multicultural Festival at North Quincy High School last Saturday. The event was moved indoors from Faxon Park due to the threat of rain. However, it didn't dampen the many cultural performances, food offerings, and family entertainment. Representatives of many different ethnic groups in Quincy participated once again this year, offering participants a snapshot of cultural experiences from all around the world. Visitors could have passports stamped from each display that they visited. The fair is the signature event of this new nonprofit organization called Culture Kind. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, the 28th annual Jimmy Kennedy Memorial Fun Run for ALS in Quincy is coming up soon. We will get all the details next. Welcome back. Today we're going to tell you about the 28th annual Squirrel Run. It's the Jimmy Kennedy Fun Run benefiting ALS Lou Gehrig's disease. It'll be Saturday, June 6th at Passion Field here in Quincy. Rich Kennedy and Coach Lou Tozzi are here to give us the background and tell you how you might be able to participate in this year's event. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you both again. We've talked about this several years in the past now. But, Rich, the 28th annual. It's hard to believe that it's been that long.
Absolutely, yes.
But for folks who aren't aware of this particular event or your story when it comes to ALS, maybe you can start there and tell us a little bit about how this has impacted your life.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Way back in 1989, my father was diagnosed with ALS. We didn't know the history. We didn't know it would be genetic. Unfortunately, several years later, my younger brother, the youngest of 8, was diagnosed with it. That's when we knew 15% of all ALS cases are genetic, and unfortunately in my family it is. I've since lost an older brother to ALS. I was diagnosed back in 1916, and remarkably I'm still alive.
Well, and doing amazingly as well, because you've taken what's happened in your family and turned it into something called the Angel Funds.
Exactly right.
Right. Organization dedicated to researching and potentially finding a cure for ALS.
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, it's been amazing. I have a lot of like-minded people on my board. The incredible thing, Joe, is no one takes a salary. Everything goes directly to research. Dr. Robert Brown at UMass Medical, it's remarkable what we've seen, the progress. They've kept me alive. That's all I could ask.
Yeah.
So it is just phenomenal. It's great to go in there and just see all the people working so diligently. And, you know, it's working.
Now, how did the idea for the run, for the race, Rich, come about? How did that happen?
My whole family, all of us, just very athletic
Yes.
and involved in so many things. It was a blessing growing up in Quincy. So a friend came to me and said, you know, to memorialize my brother Jimmy, why don't we have a road race? We'll do it right here in Quincy. And we had, you know, tremendous support from the city. Starting out with Mayor Sheets when he was the mayor there. My dad was on the school committee, so he knew Mayor Sheets very well. So he took it, and Mayor Koch has been unbelievable. He's been fantastic to us, so it's been wonderful. You know, the first year, you know, I thought, you know, if 20 people show up, that'd be fine.
Sure.
And about 400 showed up that year, and
Wow.
it's grown every year since then.
That's amazing.
It is remarkable.
And the funds raised go right to the Angel Fund, right, for ALS research.
And then goes directly to Dr. Robert Brown at UMass Medical.
Okay.
And we're all about research. And it's wonderful to be on the inside, seeing how this research has grown and grown and grown.
Now, Coach, tell me about your involvement, because you have a very big part to play in this whole organization and in the Kennedy family.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, Mr. Catalano. I go back with the Kennedy family many, many years. Rat's mother, Mary, worked for me in the special ed department.
Right.
Rat was one of my all-star track guys in our championship teams in the mid to late 70s, and maintained a close relationship with him ever since.
Yeah.
He asked me to get involved with the race and my experience in track and field.
Yeah.
Last couple of years, I've taken on a much more diverse role as race director, taking some of the burden off him. The race is a classic day in Quincy. Usually on Flag Day, not this year, week before. It's going to be Saturday, June 6th.
Yep.
Greatly supported by Mayor Koch, Quincy Police, Quincy Sun, and you. Much appreciated. We have a 5K race. It's about 3.1 miles.
Yep.
We have a 2.5 mile fitness walk, and we have children's games and activities throughout the day. We have a number of age divisions, including middle school, high school, open, 19 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, all the way up into the 80s. This is important because our donors and our sponsors, we have a great deal of prizes,
Oh, really?
gift cards, apparel, and in each age division, we go 3 deep, first, second, and third male,
Okay.
first, second, and third female. We also have every 25th finisher gets an award, a prize.
Okay.
So, Joe, you could finish 350th,
Yes.
you might get a gift card.
And I probably would.
So
if there were 350
it's a great day
participants.
for involvement of everybody. I'm pushing hard this year to work with the city of Quincy.
Yeah.
Mr. Mark Carey and the mayor's office have been wonderful sponsors of us, and you getting the word out. We're trying to get more Quincy citizens, male, female, middle school, high school, to run. It's been somewhat of a smaller group, but this year we're looking to get more, and we're running a special on our registration site. It's called runsignup.com. When you fill in your information and your address at the end of the site, there's a code, Quincy, 10 off. So the residents will get $10 off from the registration. So
Ah.
hopefully that'll help us get more runners.
Okay.
We are expecting at least 500,
That's amazing.
and it'll be a wonderful day in the city of Quincy.
Yeah. It's an officially timed race, right, Lou?
Yes, we have kick to the finish is our timing vehicle.
Yep.
We have complete race printouts, results. There'll be awards for the walkers also, just for finishing. And we'll try and make it a family day for the city of Quincy and all our guests. A lot of them are previous runners that have run many years.
Sure.
Some of them have run close to every year.
Is that right?
So it's a wonderful day, and again, we thank you for your support.
What's the actual race route, Lou?
The race route is starting at Pageant Field down the hill,
Yep.
goes around to the streets of North Quincy, up there in Billings, and some of the side streets. Quincy Police will be there with motorcycles, with traffic cops, making sure it's safe for the residents and the runners. The walkers will go down the hill and take a left to Wollaston Beach.
Yep.
They'll run down there,
Okay.
check that, walk down there, and then turn around and come back.
Okay.
The race starts at 10 a.m.
Okay.
The walk starts at 10:01.
Okay.
So it'll be a busy day for traffic, but the Quincy Police have been amazingly helpful.
That's great. And are there kind of like rest stations along the route for folks?
Yes, so that's an excellent question. There's plenty of water stops along the way, and if folks want to stop and take a rest, there's certainly a coverage there to do that also. Thank you.
Sure. And is it rain or shine, Lou?
Rain or shine, we don't have a makeup day.
Okay.
We've been lucky with the weather in the previous years. A good day is a great day for us.
Yes, absolutely. About how much does the race raise every year, just roughly?
I'm not an expert on that. As Rat said, none of us take a salary. All of it goes to the Angel Fund for ALS research. But I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rat, we make about $50,000 for
That's correct.
ALS research.
That's amazing.
This year, I've ordered more T-shirts. I'm rolling the dice. I'm hoping to get more runners. We're shooting to get, if possible, $75,000
right.
for ALS research. That's our goal.
Surprised to learn that there's a small percentage of Quincy folks that participate, because it's in Quincy every year, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, okay.
So we're hoping for a good turnout from the city of Quincy with the media blitz that we're doing and help from you and City Hall. And the $10 off, we're hoping to get more folks, and especially middle school and high school. We have fabulous prizes for them, track bags, gift cards, etc. for the young kids.
Okay. Excellent. Hopefully that'll be a little enticement. Rich, why the squirrel run? What's the significance of that?
I'm from a family of 8.
Yes.
I was toward the end of it. I've been called Rat. We don't know why.
Okay, you don't know why?
One of the older brothers started it, but he doesn't remember why.
Okay.
Jimmy was 7 years younger than I.
Okay.
And he was called Baby Rat for a long time. And that slowly morphed into Squirrel.
Ah, okay.
So Squirrel Run, catchy name.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people never knew my first name. They don't know his first name either. They know him as Squirrel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
all
it's
right.
great. People show up and go, I remember Squirrel from high school.
Yeah.
And so Squirrel Run, that's what
Well,
it is.
I mean, he was only 31 when he died, right?
Unfortunately, yes. 28 when he was diagnosed
Yeah.
and 31 when he passed away.
Yeah. So it was at an advanced stage by the time I guess it was detected. Is that right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
And it was horrible to watch
I bet.
any of
Yeah.
these cases, but he was a great athlete.
Really?
28 years old, he had just graduated from law school, doing tremendously, had just gotten married, had a son, and a horrible thing to watch, as it always is.
Sure. Yeah. Now is the whole family involved in this event?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're spread out all over New England now, but yes, everybody shows up that day.
Yeah. What should folks know about Lou Gehrig's disease, Rich? You know, I mean, for someone who has not been exposed to it, how do you kind of interact with somebody who has it?
Well, again, it's a central nervous problem. It begins within the brain, unfortunately, and it slowly robs you of all of your movement, things like that, eventually losing your speech and things like that. So, very good question. How do you deal with someone like that?
Yeah. Well, not deal with, but just relate to. Yeah.
Just be patient.
Okay.
And just listen.
Okay.
You know, unfortunately, I've dealt with so many ALS patients, etc. So let them talk, let them get things out, etc. Don't jump ahead and try to put words in their mouth.
Okay. They know what they want to say, they just need
Exactly
a little more
right.
time to say it, right? Okay.
And again, sometimes they lose the ability to speak, but they can write things out.
Oh, good to
Well,
know.
there are message boards and things like that you can order.
Yeah.
So it's great. Computers have come on so far that it's fabulous
Okay.
that they can type in sometimes, but they get the message across.
Okay, good to know.
Just
good
takes
to
a
know.
long time.
Yeah, give them time. The Angel Fund specifically, it's a nonprofit, right, organization, yeah. And you're the chairman or the president?
I'm the president.
President, okay. So how is it structured, and how does it actually work?
We have a board of directors.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And I make all the decisions.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
But the board is all people like me who have a family history of it, have seen it, and want to do something about it.
I see, okay.
So
okay.
that's how it goes.
Now, just doing some quick math, you know, almost 30 years, so it's raised over $1.5 million probably since it started, right?
Closer to 4 million.
4 million?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Have you seen that impact research on
Absolutely,
ALS? You have?
yes.
Really?
We know so much more about the disease. It's remarkable. And, you know, I was diagnosed more than 10 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
still alive.
Wow.
It's remarkable care.
Do you see a cure in the future?
Yes, I don't want to predict exactly
Of course,
when,
yeah.
but again, we've come so far in the last 10 years, and I'm still alive. So I'll keep fighting.
Sure. Now you're wearing your Boston Marathon warm-up jacket here, so it's obvious that running and athletics has been a big part of your life for a long time.
I was an obsessive runner while I could still run.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. Is movement a part of therapy for ALS?
As much as possible, yes.
Okay.
I speak with my doctor, Dr. Brown, frequently, and he always points out that, you know, I was running 2 marathons a year, and it's part of the reason why I'm still alive.
Really?
I tell him I'm too stupid to die. So
How many marathons have you run?
over 50.
Over 50.
I've run the Boston Marathon 32 times, and I've run several other marathons. Like I said, I was doing 2 per year.
Yes.
Not anymore, unfortunately.
Right, right. But, I mean, that's a family in itself, I'm sure. The
It
marathon
is.
family, right? Yeah.
That's why I keep getting jackets.
Do they also support the squirrel run?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone I know supports the squirrel run. And it's great. People come out. Some come out every year.
Yeah.
Someone who I haven't seen for 20 years
That's
will
great.
show up. It's wonderful.
Lou, that must be music to your ears, being a lifelong track aficionado yourself.
Yes, this is my 49th year as administrator in the Massachusetts State Track Coach Association.
Yeah.
We have meets every weekend, cross country, winter and spring, and about 62,000 athletes, student athletes a year in our program. And many of them come down and run the squirrel run. Some of our former runners, some of Rhett's teammates back in the 70s. Come down and celebrate Jimmy Kennedy's life. He was captain of football and track at North Quincy High.
Wow.
Come down and see us on June 6th, and you'll have a great time.
Yep. It's more than just a race. I mean, this is a whole event that's happening.
We
right?
try and make it family friendly
Yeah.
with the kids' games. There's
Right.
kids' activities. We have ribbons and prizes for the kids also. And we'll have refreshments there. And it'll be a great day to talk to old friends.
Yeah.
And for the city of Quincy, it's always a highlight.
Absolutely. We've been putting up the sign-up website and your email, and also the phone number for the Angel Fund as well, if folks would like to learn more about that or donate to it too. They don't have to wait for the race, right, to do that.
Yes,
correct.
thank you for mentioning
Sure.
that, because on the website, squirrelrun28.com, there's also a button for donate.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to run the race, you don't have to come down and walk. You can make a donation, and as many folks do. We have a giant 6-foot poster at the starting line of all our donors and friends, which are extensive and much appreciated.
Sure, absolutely.
Also, Joe, the
Yeah.
Angel Fund does events all year
Oh, okay.
round. Absolutely.
Okay.
Where the Harpoon Brewery
Yes.
does something for us. It's coming up
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
Thank you
Okay.
for reminding me. They've raised about $4.5 million for us.
Amazing.
It is absolutely amazing, but people like that is fantastic.
Absolutely.
They needed a race director, so I said, okay, I'll be it. And I came in. Remarkable. It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah. Again, it is Saturday, June 6th, Pageant Field here in Quincy. Registration starts at 8 o'clock that morning, and then the race steps off at 10, and then the fitness walk at 10:01. Anything else we should let folks know about right now?
Well, I'd just like to thank, again, the mayor, City of Quincy Police Department, amazing, and Quincy Cable, much appreciated. Without you folks, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. Thank you, sir.
We're happy to do it. Rich, anything else you'd like to leave with folks?
No, just as he always said, thank you. I appreciate this. We've got tremendous support from the entire city of Quincy. That includes you and so many other people. So again, thank you.
I also want to mention, I'm sorry,
No, it's okay.
not after saying that, Mr. Bob Bosworth of
Sure.
the Quincy Sun,
Yes.
a major supporter of us. He's already been blasting out in the weekly paper information about the race, and he's been incredible
That's great.
at supporting us.
Excellent.
Thank
and
you, Mr.
I'm assuming you
Bosworth.
can sign up right till race day, too,
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah, okay. No deadline. Gentlemen, thank you again. Great to see you both, and have a
you,
wonderful
Joe.
event. You're very welcome. Hopefully the weather will cooperate for the squirrel run. Today, not so nice. It's kind of gray and damp with temperatures in the upper 50s this afternoon. But look at tomorrow. Look at the weekend. Look at for the next 5 days. We're switching the mode here over to summertime with warm temperatures and dry conditions right through next Wednesday. Thanks again to Rich Kennedy, Lou Tozzi for joining us today. Thanks to our crew, and thank you for watching. Monday here in the show, folks from the Dorothy Quincy Homestead stopping by with information about their new season. Meantime, you can check our website, QATV.org. All of our latest programs are there with news, information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.